Nah, nah. All right, all right. Well, it is. So here we go. All right, everybody. Here with CPA Live is in effect, and look, we got the. Oh man, yo, oh yeah, they went off the screen. We got the homie Drake up in the building too. Drake, Drake is in the
Drake,
building, man. Hey
Draco,
yo,
Draco.
Draco in the building, doing his thing. Um, hey with CPA Live once again. We back here for all those that have questions in their business life. We're doing our live stream, and then we got from the control room, Mr. Franklin in the control room today. What's good,
Inside. I
man?
gave you some inside work today.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is good, man. Just spent the last 2 days getting my son and my niece situated in college moving.
Yeah, dope.
Dealing in that heat, man. It was brutal.
Yeah, that was rude. Yo, you had to carry stuff and all that.
What? Pack the truck? Strap stuff down? What do you mean? Drive?
So,
Back and forth?
yo,
I was up
yo,
and down 85 in one day like 5, 6 times, man. It's
wow.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
look, how many? This is off topic to what we talking about, but on topic of what you were doing. So what did you do? Was it different for your niece and your son? So did you do like a drop and go with your son?
Nah, we dropped, hung out,
Okay, you
get
set him
help him
up.
unpack. Yeah, raise the bed, got the bed high in the air, we just
He's ready.
yeah, it's his mother and sisters there and my nieces, everybody was there. My brother was there, my sister-in-law was there. We was helping him get situated and
Okay,
it's
hooked up the
just
room. You,
huh?
you you hooked up the room for him.
As much as possible, but he wanted to do the rest on his own. So
Okay,
okay,
I dig that. Yeah, you
so
just you
yeah,
just
and
got him started.
yeah, absolutely. And his boy was there.
Okay.
Actually, his roomie is somebody he went to high school with.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
he chilling. So
yeah,
he know money already.
yeah. They already roomed. When they did the excursion to Morehouse for their
Mhm.
technology program. That was his roommate.
Okay, all
So
right.
twice. So yeah,
Okay,
he's straight.
that's good because you don't know anybody till you live with them. So
Yeah, what to live with me is to love me. That's what my aunt used to say. That means you ain't gonna like me, but you gotta love me to live with me,
for real. Okay, I got
right?
you. I got
So,
you. So that's what's going on. That's good
hmm
stuff.
hmm
Congratulations.
thanks, man.
So now you ready to roar.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Love
absolutely,
it. Love it. Love
absolutely.
it. Love it. Wow, nice. Well, you know, here we are. Another Saturday, another Q&A. As you see down at the bottom, if you have any questions, place them in the chat, or send us an email live at Haywood CPA. We're here. We take questions the entire week, time that we're off. And I'm just going to plug in. If you look at some of our previous episodes, check them. It should be on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. You can see all our previous episodes. But, today we're going to talk about business expenses.
Mm.
Very interesting, right? So, got a couple of questions over the last couple of weeks. What can I deduct on my taxes? Or what can I deduct in general, just on your financial statement? Not really understanding what a business expense is or what it should be. So, we decided to address that situation and give you some insight into what a business expense is from we're going to start with the IRS's point of view. We're going to stick to the IRS's point of view because that's usually where that's the most times you're going to have to deal with that with the IRS,
Hmm.
unless you're trying to get financing. Then you would look to get a loan. So with that said, you ready? And if any other questions come up, check them in the chat. We'll hop on them. So business expenses. Okay, this is the definition. IRS definition. A business expense are expenses that are ordinary and necessary. For example, payroll, retirement, utilities, rent, interest, advertising. things like that. They're necessary for the business. Now, I think that's very important to understand. So let's give an example where this falls short for some people. Many business owners are most of their cash stays in the business, where they'll have more cash in the business. So they'll pay for everything through the business. Okay. So as an accountant, we see that, and we have to make a determination, well, or check with the client to understand whether it was truly a business expense or if it was a personal expense. So a
Mm-hmm.
personal expense is not going to be deducted. So a personal expense is going to be, without using a technical term, that's you taking money out of the business for your personal,
Mm-hmm.
which is equal to profit. so without getting into the details of it, it's equal to profit. So guess what? You take $1 out to go, hypothetically go pay your light bill at home. From the business's point of view, that is now taxable. You're gonna pay tax on that. The term we use is a draw. Sole proprietors is an owner's draw or distribution in an S corp situation. Partner draw if it's a partnership. Um, C corp a little more complicated. We get back to that. So this is very important. That ordinary and necessary. Now, to use the term that I've been working with, you have a lot of Google accountants. So Google CPAs. Know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Or people that have CPAs slash accountants that, you know, hook them up. Let's call them that way. So they'll tell you, oh, well, I deducted blah 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 blah. My accountant told me I could deduct so and so and so. Well, this is the accountant going to tell you this. You can deduct whatever you like. But number one, you gotta be able to defend it. And number two, the feds don't find you in the year that you file. It's years later. And guess what? Those same Google accounts will tell you, wow, they can only go back 3 years. That is, unless they find a discrepancies over a specific 20, I think it's 25% of you know, over inflation of revenue. So what that means is that say they come in and look at your 2020, you know, no, let's say 2019. That's better because next year would be when the 2019 year technically closes, and they get to you before then, and they look back and they go through the audit and they say, "Hmm, about 50% of your expenses were personal. Let's go take a look at 2018." But the year is closed. But with the IRC, Internal Revenue Code, which is a part of the United States law code, it's law. They can go back. Let's keep going back, going back, going back. So all those things that the Google accountant told you, now what's also going to happen, the Google accountant ain't going to be found. I promise you that. They ain't, no, I just did the return. I don't know nothing about that. So that's that. I'm just saying, that's it. That's, I don't want to pontificate. This is not a pontification show. But so necessary and ordinary. So I could just speak for our practice that, when in doubt, we put it to a draw. So then you had to convince me, like, what's good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's what we got to do. All right. Look at we got a good morning.
Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, yeah. Look at she got like that world famous. Look at that. She look real official in that picture, dog.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah. So
A-team status.
yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So that's step one on the ordinary business expenses. So what you got for that, Mr. Consultant? You got, I know you got something you done digested it. Oh, I need you to let you digest it a little bit more.
Nah, you good. So I have a question though.
Yeah, okay. On the fly. So to prove
So
that I really
so
know what I'm talking about.
no. It's so here's the question.
Okay.
Where does the lack of understanding go when it comes to that? For
Okay.
for new it's it's and when I mean lack of understanding, lack of education, lack of because a lot of times people know that these are the things that need to be put into place, and it's not that they
It's
are
not malicious.
choosing to purposely
Yeah.
ignore the understanding of it. But usually when your business gets up and you get going again, I'm a victim of this myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm guilty of this myself, right? You
Hmm.
start a business, you're just so into the technical parts, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm actually making money off of this, and then got a website, I got to do this, I got production, I got this, I got that, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get to it, I'm gonna get to it, I'm gonna get to it. So
Also,
those things
gotta live.
fall in, right?
You gotta live. That's part of it. Yeah.
Right. So
What
where's like kind of
the
the
disconnect?
that line, that break?
Yeah, well, I think one of the challenges in running a business and understanding the financial implications is that most people starting a business don't take business courses, and I'm not saying that you should, but you don't. You don't get indoctrinated in running a business. You get indoctrinated in whatever you're doing.
Hmm.
So we approach the finance part like our personal finances, but yet we received information that's telling us, because the articles or your friend or Google accountant, service station accountant, whoever tells you, you can deduct more in your business than in your personal. So you immediately you say, oh, well, that's for the business. Well, and then you can rationalize it. Well, I had to pay my mortgage because if I ain't pay my mortgage, I couldn't do my business. Like it's stuff like that. So you start seeing, and one thing that happens is a lot of people start businesses. They immediately go in. Well, I'll save taxes. Like because and it's true in businesses you have more of opportunity to save taxes.
Hmm.
It's true, but taking it back to my thing that I didn't go in business to save taxes. I went in business to make money. Well, not
Correct.
the reason, but financially, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah, of
we're trying
course,
to
of
do.
course, of course.
So but it's such is the way the information is displayed to people, and it's so like, oh yeah, everything is like, well, you see people come in, they start a business, they made like $200 a lemonade stand, and they need an accountant, and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, yeah.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
and the reason they need an accountant because they don't want to pay too much taxes on their $200.
Or they need somebody to do their books.
Yeah, to do their books because they don't want to mess up the taxes, not because
Right.
oh hey let's go look at this, let's try to and that has a lot to do with exposure and education, like which is why we're here
Right.
to say like, this stuff is about running a business, like
Right. Right.
so. I think to wrap up to answer your question, it's just lack of knowledge and I think and it's fear. It's fear
Hmm.
of taxes. Oh, it's totally fear of
Oh
taxes.
yeah, as well, because that's
Yeah,
the theme that's been created, right?
yeah. But I mean, we know my thing. Hey, you don't want to pay no taxes, don't make no money. Simple, tax free. Don't make no money. You be good. Which is what I mean, because it just addresses the thing about it. Like, oh, everybody comes. The first thing they talk to me about is their taxes, and I'm like, okay, well, how's the profits going? How's the revenue looking?
Right. Yeah. We so how do we move away from how do we move away from that initial
That
fear factor conversation, fear factor questioning, right, into more of, hey, how do I continue to grow my business and my profits? Are my books right? What are my chart of accounts I need to set up? What kind of accounting software training and support can you provide for me that'll help me get on, whether it's you starting out or you already been in the mix and you need to go back and kind of get some things together, like, what's next?
well, I think we'll move on because there's some more definitions to expenses.
Okay.
That's the thing that from our standpoint, all we can do is say, hey, this is the standard definition. this is what you have to understand. And then everything else, you know what I'm saying? And as Nicole says, seek help early when you get started. Rock with some people. Rock with some people. So, like, well, let's go through the other categories of expenses too, because I think that would help. So we got business expenses. You know, they're what I mentioned. I'm going to go through the other ones a little bit faster. But cost of goods. So cost of goods sold is the cost of producing or obtaining your the items you sell to your customers. So in a restaurant standpoint, your cost of goods sold is the food, the containers, whatever. If your accounting is sophisticated enough, you can track the labor costs, which you should. I mean, and especially like restaurants, retail, things like that. Track the labor costs. That's the thing that'll tell you, what. So what your cost of goods. That's separate from
Mm-hmm.
the overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Capital expenses. Another expense people make mistakes on. Capital expenses are items that you don't receive the expense benefit in the current year, but you get the expense benefit over a set number of years based on
I.e. computers,
computers,
vehicles.
home improvements,
Mm-hmm.
um, equipment, any type of equipment. Now, there's
Mm-hmm.
some things. There's another thing that we're not gonna go into the tax thing. We're just trying to explain
Right.
capital expenses by rule. Costs, vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
something called depreciation. Depreciation means you take it over a set number of years, not all in one year. And then you also have, speaking of vehicles, the business use of cars. But when you use your car, and being realistic, as I say, I can't speak for other practitioners, but for what we do, we say we know you're not using that car only for business, like and also, I mean, you just most people
It's
are
honor
not.
system, right? Honor
Yeah,
system.
well, all tax
So across the board.
administration is honor, yeah, but my overall philosophy is you just want them to leave you alone. Like that's really your goal. Even if I wanted to go into tax planning and you want to pay the least amount with them leaving you alone, that's the goal,
Mm-hmm.
like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to segment the amount that's personal. I mean, you know, let's be real. Unless you have two, three cars. I mean, if you have two, three cars, that's fine. But you got one car and you
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell me you only use it for business,
Mm-hmm.
I could poke holes in that immediately. I say, oh, for real.
Right.
It's like
Right.
that.
Right.
So, and same thing for business use of home. Those of us that work at home, which is going to be it's big now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what you have to do to prevent from your audit situation is a dedicated space. Now that can be a table in a corner. That's the way you do it. Bam. That's your dedicated space. Many of us have an extra bedroom or, have a den or something that we do. Some houses now built with offices or something that could be an office or something else. But you take the square foot of that, that's where you base your what portion of your expenses that you do it on.
And does that include for folks that rent?
Oh, yeah. Makes no difference.
Okay.
No difference. Great question there. That's right. That's why you're cortastic. And then, so, and so,
Just trying to get them over the line, brother.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And then for on personal, and then finally you have personal expenses. So personal expenses, you can't deduct living expenses, family expenses. But if you have something that is business and personal, you can deduct. You need to allocate
Mm-hmm.
a portion of it to the business and personal. A good the way to look at that is there are a couple of places where that really comes in play. Like especially like say you buy something for your business at Walmart. So you shopping at Walmart or whatever. You pay with your business credit card, but you bought like a ream of paper. The bill is $200, but the ream of paper was $9.99. You shouldn't be deducting $200. Just saying, And then also, if you, all right, I'm gonna say it. Let's say you buy a luxury brand something, and your business is janitorial services, but you got, insert high end name brand as something you bought in Beverly Hills. I don't know how you would explain that one away. Don't know. Have no idea. Probably not best to try to pay for it there.
Well, you know me, man. I always, yeah, everything goes down to mindset. We are the creators of everything, cause and effect, right?
Mhm.
So we got to just decide on what we're going to do appropriately and correctly,
Yeah.
period. Because if it don't hit you now, it'll hit you later.
Oh yeah, it's gonna hit you
So,
harder.
I mean,
Yeah. What you gonna do? But that's the context I think is important for the personal part. But it's like, hey, we get it. I get it. I my first listen. I well, one of these businesses. Yeah, the money was there. I ain't had time to go, and this was before really the online banking and you use your phone. Have I paid stuff with my business account? Of course I have. But I recorded it because I knew where to record it as a draw. I knew that. I ain't trying to pass it off like that.
yeah, I
So
mean, things happen, but you just got to navigate,
yeah.
just got to have a good, this really disciplining process, I think. And
Mhm.
for most, again, I'm speaking from the perspective of, for the people that's watching this or will be watching it. Just take your time, as Nicole said, seek help early.
Very early.
Lessen the pride, bring down your pride and ego, and you always got to learn something though first. You got to have a base. Nobody say you have to be a CPA, but you got to learn the basis of it. And for those that have been employees that are venturing out into the business world, when you get taxed for your W-2, your regular paycheck, they everything is business related.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
think in that kind of in that term in that thought process, the transition should work out.
Yeah. Well, and the main thing is that um on your point, it's okay to say I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, there's things that people, clients have spoke to me. I told them clearly, I don't know, but I know where to go find out.
Mhm.
It's not nothing wrong with saying I don't know, and you got to admit to yourself, I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. I'm afraid.
Mhm.
That's fair enough.
Mhm.
But we here to to ease your pain,
Mhm.
but we're not a charity. Nah, I'm just playing. Sometimes we-
You on a roll
make it
today, huh?
insane,
You on
man.
it today. I
Yeah.
understand.
Well, man, it's good as a celebrate. Whenever he wakes up, it's my father's birthday today. So
Oh, okay. To make
yeah,
sure you tell Pops a happy birthday,
yeah, I'll
man.
tell him from the whole. Then when he watches this, he'll get his happy
There
birthday
you go.
greeting.
Pop,
So
happy birthday,
yeah,
man.
he watches
Stay
it.
light on your toes today, Pop.
Yeah, he watches. I think he might be on it now, but usually it's West Coast time when he
Okay.
watches it. So,
Okay.
11 West Coast next week, next
Yeah,
Tuesday.
true, true, true.
So, but no, I mean, I'm feeling no, but I feel like this is an important topic
Yeah,
because of the
absolutely.
basis of where people say, "Well, I want to do tax planning and all that," and it helps you in the way you manage cash. Um, one of my main things is cash. Cash is it. So cash is the lifeblood of
It's
a
the
business.
headache pill, man.
Yeah, it is that. Without cash, it's harder to breathe as a business owner. So
Right.
it's like, how do we? One of the things is you have to be in tune to your expenses, and you have to know what your expenses are and accept that, and then know how to navigate around them.
Mhm.
Not necessarily navigate around them, but you had to make changes. If you have to make changes, the expenses are one thing you can control. Yeah, that's the one thing you can control. You can absolutely control that.
Mhm.
So, and it's hard. I don't ever pretend. Anything I say, even I hope I don't come off as flippant at times, but I've been there. And so I know it's hard, and I know the mindset change. But it's an active exercise. Like it's really something you have to do, and you're gonna fall. You won't fall. You gotta get back up. Fall. I mean, is active. but I think if you put your head in the sand like the emu on the on the commercials, nothing's gonna change.
Mm-mm.
So
It's not.
you have to address it, and expenses are a big thing. Now, just to take it off of that, still going off your answer, we have to separate the IRS part too. Like, why is it important to understand these expenses?
Mm-hmm.
Because expenses and cash are two different things.
Right.
So the expenses are how we reporting, in this case to the IRS. But you expend cash, but some cash expenditures, like those capital or the capital costs, aren't expenses immediately, but you spending the cash today.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be in the mix. You have to start thinking like that. Is this the
Mm-hmm.
time to do that? So on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's small business owner, smaller business. When for you gotta get to a long revenue before you can let off the gas per se. Um, you know, and it's like you can't you I mean you gotta get into it. You gotta have and you know what? Other thing too. Yes, you can have an outstanding bookkeeper, you can have a great accountant and all that. But if you're the owner, executive director, whatever, managing partner, you cannot be detached from these numbers. It
Right.
does not matter because
Right.
understand expenses with there's a transaction behind them, which is an action behind those expenses. So something happened. So if you're overspending in something, that's something you subscribe, someone subscribed to. It might be duplication and subscription. It might be software that you purchase and don't use, but you're still paying the subscription. I'm guilty of that one. And and so you can't be detached.
Right. Right.
So it is, yes. I mean,
Right.
it's so tracking. You have to be part of it, and all of that. You have to overcome your fears, worries, concerns, lack of knowledge. I don't know, because I'll tell anybody. Um, Historically, when it was we were smaller, of course, I used to be like, I tell people, I don't know. My accountant handles that as an unacceptable statement for any client I have. Nope. It's your business, not mine. Now,
Well, because it's this, moving along with the tax thing we're talking about, right? It still flows along with the growth of the business. So understanding the numbers, because the numbers are the drivers for the growth, right? So that's
yeah,
why, that's to enhance what you're saying and why it's important to know those things,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Like, you got to know. Like, I'm not. My accountant handles that. I mean,
Right.
that's a that's a line in.
The dog ate my homework.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Big said it in Juicy, but that's a song. That ain't what we got going on here. Like, yo, I always, when I've been there, I'm like, what? See, it's your business. Like, what part of your business, unless you put me on like that and I'm gonna eat too on that level,
Right.
whole different thing. But the problem is, if I do that, then you're not gonna be doing what you've been doing. I'm
Right.
gonna be like, so you have to know, man. You can't owning a business is not a passive activity.
Mm-mm.
It's not.
No. Watching TV is.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Right.
so like you gotta you gotta be in the game,
Hold
man.
on. Here, hold on. Here's another question for you, or
All right.
scenario. Question,
Oh,
scenario, thought, whatever.
yeah, I got
Right?
it.
So how many? So I just said watching TV is passive, but how many people have Hulu, Prime, Netflix, right? BT Plus, Apple TV, right?
Yeah. Disney Plus with my man
All of
Grogu
that,
right
right?
there. My man
Not
Grogu, he be on Disney Plus.
like those are subscriptions monthly.
Yeah, I know.
So it means you're watching a lot of TV,
That means a whole lot of TV.
whole lot of TV. Drop,
Or
just
you're
keep,
not.
or
Or you're not.
or you're not just paying it still,
You just paying for it. That's the exact point.
right?
You just got them. The guy have them,
Right.
and people don't use the multiplication rule. They don't say, "Oh, which is great in marketing. It's amazing. No, this is great. Hey, it's only $7.99 a month.
Nah, times 12.
Times 12. Hey, that's $96.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and so I guarantee you, I mean, when people think about, well, it's $100 for something I'm not using, versus, oh, it's $7.99. You know,
Yeah, but then you could flip that into to an Audible subscription, and you can walk and listen, drive and listen, to invest in yourself to continue your education and have
yeah,
some understanding, right?
yeah. I
Because
think
like you said, his business is not passive.
not
It's
passive. It's an active sport.
correct.
Active sports people, you have to get on it. So that's it. You know, I know
Yeah.
this is hey man, I'm up here taking shots today. I'm
Nah,
terrible.
nah, you good. You good.
Oh,
You
I'm
in
just
the
saying.
flow of you in the flow of traffic.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm like, we this live stream here.
Oh,
I
we have
tell you,
Mr. Marcus Fryer on as well.
oh yeah, now salute, salute. We in the building, yeah. Yo, I know we got the number one fan. She being quiet this morning.
Got you.
Ronita, she on there. She
Got
dropped
you.
high. So and oh, we got dogs in the building. Drake is
That's
in the
the
building
little
too.
guy. And he's
And
but
Drake
he's obnoxious, man.
is it. Well, now you obnoxious. This is my man over here.
He's
So,
no, he's really obnoxious.
oh, okay,
And
okay.
he
I
has the
got it.
name to go with it.
Oh, really? Oh,
King.
oh yeah.
I
So
didn't name him. I just live here with him.
yeah, that's all. But that's what I'm saying, people. This is authentic. It's live and direct. We got dogs in the building. We got people coming in. This is not a game. Or so my little shot, man. I mean, I will say this. I'm being a little petty Roosevelt right now. Is it's a lot of information out here that's telling you the good stuff. And yeah, um, I went from being out of work to making six figures in 3 months. Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is how I mean it's sensationalized on in marketing platforms. Good deal though. I get it. But a lot of them are what they're not telling you. I mean, how many of these people have really run businesses? And number one, what they're not telling you is part of their business is telling you how they made so much money in a business so that you will pay them to tell you. That's their business. So if you have a beauty shop, restaurant, you do logistics or something like that, you need to talk to someone else that can say, look, mistakes you might make here, not the end of the world. No,
Hmm.
not the end of
I
the
mean,
world.
the easiest thing is anybody's promoting that. You can just ask them a couple questions. What's
Yeah.
financial statements?
Hey,
What is that?
nah, they
Annual performance,
nah,
right?
they don't care
Cycle.
about
What
that.
is the annual performance cycle? Every business owner needs to know that. Something that's ooh, we could
Woo.
talk about that another episode.
Yeah,
But
we got another episode, man. Our sponsors here got us on a time limit because this thing
absolutely.
can
But
go forever. We got to
annual
have
performance cycle, right?
yeah,
We got
yeah.
4 quarters.
Yep.
Game
That's
seven.
right.
Every day is game 7
That's
for
yeah.
business owners.
I know, and that's why it ain't for the faint of heart, and it ain't And I salute everybody. I don't care what you making per
Yeah.
year. The fact to step out there and do this, you know. I mean, you salute nonprofits too. I mean, people that go out on a limb and try to go out there, and that's not to the that's not like a decrease on people that make a living wherever they contribute to the world their own way. But in this realm, business and it's real. It's
Yeah,
and
it's not for the faint of heart, man.
yeah,
And and we live in uncertain times.
yeah,
Uncertainty is always here, right? It's a balance, right? There's certainty,
mhm,
there's uncertainty.
yeah,
It's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more when you decide especially when you have a family and you the
yeah,
head of the family, and
yep.
it's a lot. It's
It
a
is.
lot, but the rewards,
Oh man, they're wonderful. And we on a whole nother topic now.
yeah, true.
And but the rewards are small, they're incremental, and you have to celebrate them. Whether it's saying that I have this number of clients now, we were able to reduce the time in our customer waiting, whatever. Celebrate them. You've got to celebrate them
Yeah,
because you just have to. You
yeah,
cannot take your emotional state. you can't run it on your bank account. If
Right.
you sit there and look at the bank account and that your the worth of your business is tied to the bank account,
Yeah.
you'll go insane.
Yeah. Well,
You'll
for
go,
for me,
okay.
it's I'm always I have a proud, it's like a proud papa moment,
Hmm.
when my kids do well. It's
Yeah,
same for my clients. Like when I make my clients happy,
yeah.
like when I really make them, like
Make them
you
happy.
can, that's a
It gives you chills.
man, that's
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna put some ice in my water for that one.
Yeah. And
I
that's what,
want to drink lukewarm water today at this
yeah,
moment, right?
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. The purpose of this live and this podcast is to talk about this. You know, I could sit up here and give a great lecture that everybody be asleep right
Yeah,
now.
with big vocabulary words.
Yeah, but let's get to the human element of running a business.
Yeah,
Sometimes it sucks.
yeah,
Straight up.
yeah,
Can't stand it.
yeah.
Wake up, you like, why am I doing this? I
Mhm.
really don't know why I'm doing this. You broke it, especially when you have like payroll and you pay everybody else and you broke. Like that's the you talk about a test of you know
Mhm.
the ends of
Mhm.
your heart,
Mhm.
man.
Mhm. But see,
It's
there's this thing that we have inside of us called intuition and willpower. And when we put in challenging situations or uncompromising situations, in most cases, those things will those things that kick in. You just got to be able to listen to it,
yeah,
And again, how I talk. Those are the. It starts from within. You got to
mhm,
go in to come out. You can't find it on the
yeah,
outside.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's super important for everyone to understand it. It's when those things kick in, you'll be fine.
yeah, yeah,
Identify, understand it, and just move in that direction. It'll be
mhm,
okay. Because
yeah.
it's just a cause for learning new things. It's the challenge, it's the leveling up aspect.
Yeah, and so as we prepare to wrap, but I gotta say I have a couple of ways I approach that. And the way I learned to it is almost like I took the opposite of my natural instinct. So when a problem came, I started making myself go towards it rather than running from it, and I had to start saying, "Okay, we go there." And as our associate on here knows, I might have shared with her one time. One thing when you need to make a change in business or something, basically when you tired of being broke. So when you tired of being broke, you say, you know what, you know, because you committed to the action and you tired of being broke. You like, yo, I'm gonna go get, I have to do this. And some of this stuff is hard, and some of it is not natural in a relationship. Like with people, you have to, and you have to make your decision to fall in love with the process of it. But if you score yourself on the money, it's going to be you are going to be because what your colleagues, your friends, oh, you know what they're going to talk about? Oh, they got a raise. Oh, they got a bonus. Oh, I can't wait till I retire. Oh, they did all this. They were able to spend this money doing that, and you sitting there like in the sun, you're listening to them at the same time talking about, man, I gotta pay XYZ. Let's say you meet with them on the weekend and you sitting there like, man, I gotta pay XYZ and I'm about 2 grand short right now. And I don't know what you thinking
Mhm.
about something else.
Mhm.
And they just talk, oh, it's this and
Mhm.
that. And you like,
Mhm. I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks.
yeah. Yeah, you like, yeah, okay.
But think
And
about this. They got to get up,
oh, they got
be to
answers.
work on time,
Yeah,
put in for
yeah,
vacation. And if
yeah,
they have blackout schedules, they can't take it off at the same time as somebody
yeah,
else.
yeah,
And right? So you can't, there's no price for freedom
yeah.
when you're on your clock. You just got to be responsible with it. But also, and I know you will talk about this in another episode
Yes,
too,
we will.
succession planning. What is
Oh
that?
my.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah.
It's plan for retirement. Why? Why would I want to do that? How do I even think about that? Because what you think you're making now and you spending now, you still got to think about that future when you start to slow down.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, we getting ready to wrap because if we start talking about that, this thing
Right?
would be like then we'd have to take an intermission.
Understood.
Something like that. But
Understood.
No, that is a great talk. We had a great talk today. As I said, thank you for tuning in. You can find this episode and all the other ones on our Facebook page at Hayward CPA, and also search for us on YouTube and like us. Hit a comment, ding us. We need likes. We need likes. So, but definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel where we'll be planning. We plan on doing some explainer videos coming up this fall, and take some of these concepts and try to put some explanation behind them. So that would definitely be a place. And also reach out to us all social media platforms. Reach on Twitter at Hayward CPA. You can also go to our website, haywardcpa.com, and you can email us questions or comments, or if you know someone that we should interview live at Hayward CPA, send it over there, and we'll get back. We'll get in touch, because our purpose here is, I mean, yeah, of course, it's promoting the firm, but what we realize, and Corey and I discussing, a lot of my colleagues, we discuss it, that in our community, this information is just not being circulated enough. So we're just
Hmm.
trying to add another voice to the things,
Hmm.
so that we can go, um, research more, and come back, and hey, we research answers now. So I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know the tax code backwards and forward, because
Well,
if
it was see that's why we have community of information, knowledge
yeah,
base experts, right? And
yeah,
we can lean on each other, and that's just the chain of events for people. Where if we were here by ourselves, we wouldn't need anybody else.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
So yeah. But on that note, do we even mention, the based off today's topic, do we even mention the fact that reach out if you have any questions on accounting,
oh,
cloud accounting software,
yes, yes,
right?
yeah,
Because
you're
we'll
right.
put you on the train track.
Oh yeah, you could. Well, actually, you could go to our new. So we doing new. I'm dropping the bomb for this week. Our new cloud accounting website, Hayward CPA Cloud. That is Hayward CPA Cloud. That's when we talk about cloud accounting, and all those things. I think I'm gonna put it up here for you to see. Yeah, here we go, and then we're gonna bounce up out of here. Um, so we'll go ahead and put that up there. HaywardCPACloud.com. So for your accounting system information, go check that out. So we have a lot of information coming. We have a lot of information out here. We're gonna have a lot more coming. We're just trying to help the marketplace navigate, and make it through this time. So with that being said, for Mr. Cortastic himself, and I'm gonna say peace. You say peace, and I hope y'all have
Peace.
a wonderful weekend. And is it supposed to be hot today in NC?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to feel like 107, they said.
Wow. So all right, I'm going to turn out all the lights in my house and get underneath a fan.
There you go.
That's it.